Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 62 of the More in You podcast. I'm excited to be with you again today. How are you doing? So, today, I want to talk about something that has really helped me in time past. I've had a few people reach out to me asking me how am I to do a lot of the things that I do. So, everyone reaching out to me and say, you know what, I remember speaking at an inner circle of one of my mentors, and one of the questions that was asked was, how do I consistently, take care of my daily schedule? So this week, the topic I want to share with you is one key system that can help you maximize each day. And this system is something that has helped me. I remember sometime, I think it was in maybe 2016, 2017, God had laid about three books on my heart. And at the time, my thing really was, how am I going to be able to write these books with my current schedule? I was a full-time pastor's wife. I had a full-time job working 40 hours a week. But I always say I wasn't just working 40 hours a week. I was working graveyard hours. So for those that don't know what that means, graveyard hours means I was working at night. So I worked between 10:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. Some days 7:30 a.m. So guess what? By the time I got home, as you can imagine, I was tired and I was ready for bed. So at the time, I just couldn't see it. And I remember God had laid those books on my mind, and I'm thinking, I really do want to write this book. But guess what? How do I write this book with this schedule that I have? I don't even have the time to write the book. So one of the days that I was just kind of pondering on, how do I get this done? Is this even possible? I remember just thinking about it in my mind. I remember the Holy Spirit saying to me, this is possible. And I thought, really, it's possible? How possible is it? And I remember that he said to me, we can get it done with a schedule. I thought, really? And he literally walked me. So for me, at the time, what he literally did was, I remember seeing him say to me, okay, you work 10:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. What I want you to do is that when you get home, yeah, I worked till about 7. I got home at 7:30. When you get home at 7:30, I want you to jump in bed so that by 8, you are asleep. And between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m., I want you to sleep. So I'm like, okay. You wake up at 1 p.m. and you sit at the table and write for an hour. So between 1 and 2, I want you to sit there and I want you to write. And then when it's 2 o'clock, I want you to get up, go and have a shower, get ready to pick up the children. You can leave them at 2:30. Normally, I used to pick up the children for 3 o'clock. So that I'll go to school, go pick them up. And then, of course, when you come back from school, pick up, you make dinner, you do homework, assignments, all of that is there. He says you just kind of attempt, and there goes your evening. But one thing I want you to do is that when they go to bed at night, I want you to also now go and have a nap, because now you've only slept 5 hours, and so by this time your body is starting to get tired. So go and have a nap. So by the time you wake up, because I didn't have to leave home before 10. So I remember I used to leave home at 10 p.m. He said, so that when you go to work at night, now you feel refreshed. Your brain is fresh. You're physically strong. You're not tired. And it was like an eye opener to me. I was like, wow, this is gonna work. And I remember trying it out on the first day, and truly it worked. And that was how I adopted that schedule. So today I want to just share with you, one key system that can help you maximize each day is having a schedule. And someone might say, oh, but you know what? Really does having a schedule make a difference? I want to tell you, truly, having a daily schedule makes a difference. I have a saying that I use often, and I always say, what doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. And really, that's what it means. What does it mean to schedule something? It simply means to have it on your calendar. It means to plan for that thing. It means to have that thing in place. It means to have that thing in view. How many times do you, like I do? I remember this occurs to me. This happens to me. Let's find out about you. How many times do you plan to buy salt? And I've shared this example before. You have it in your mind you're going to buy salt, but you don't write it on the shopping list. And then when you go to the store, you buy every other thing you have on. Because now, what are you doing? You're looking at your list. Like if you're someone like me, I always have my list on my phone. So you're looking at your list on your phone, but because you do not write salt on the list, you go through the whole store, get home, and lo and behold, you open your cupboard and you're like, oh, I forgot to buy salt. That has happened to me over and over again, not just with salt, like with different things. So I've learned when something comes to my mind, what do? I put it on my list. I often have a list on my phone, shopping list. I'll put it on there because most likely, because our brains don't often remember everything at once. So most likely you're gonna forget if you don't have your list. And that is the exact same way scheduling works. I talked about scheduling a little bit. There's something I love that John C. Maxwell often says. He often says that if he comes to your house in a 24-hour period, so if he comes to visit you at home, he can tell if the person is going towards success or the person is going towards failure. Why can he tell? Because he says he would follow you around to do everything that you're doing for the day. And just by looking at what you do daily, he can tell the direction in which your life is going. And I really believe that, because what happens is that our life really doesn't come up as a block of years. You and I's lives are made up of seconds, milliseconds, seconds, minutes. Each day we have 86,600 seconds. We have 1,440 minutes. Excuse me. And guess what? Those seconds, those minutes culminate in hours. You have 24 hours in a day. You have 7 days in a week. And in a month, you have 30 or 31 days. But guess what? It starts from the seconds you have. It starts from the minutes you have. And then you realize that's what add up to your days. So each morning you wake up, each one of us is giving 86,000 seconds. It's almost like somebody is giving us money at the back. And if they say, okay, what they say, it's almost like God is saying, I'm giving you $86,600. But the thing is that I'm giving this to you is great, but you have to finish spending this today. So I'm saying to somebody, each day you wake up, guess what? You have $86,600 and you are required to spend it. The question is, how are you going to spend it each day? It's up to you. And when you begin to look at that, guess what it does? I find it changes your perspective on things. When you begin to look at it, that life is not measured really in the days that we have, it's measured in the seconds and in the minutes that we have. What are you going to do? So one great way that you can maximize your day, that you can maximize each day, is to learn to begin to schedule each day. And I want to say to somebody listening and watching, saying, oh boy, you don't understand, because of the way my schedule runs, because of the way my life runs, I can't really schedule. Anybody can schedule. I just told you about the way I worked I worked in graveyard shifts. For some people, they work 9 to 5 jobs. And so what they can do is that they, between 9 and 5, they're at work. But my question is to you, from scheduling starts from when you start early in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, what do you do with your time? So I want to give you an assignment, and I'm actually going to give you a download. So I didn't have a video in the show notes. I'll have it in the show notes. I will have it on the, for those of you that watch on YouTube, that want the video podcast, I would have the link on the channel. I'll have the link there below the video where you can click on and download a copy of a daily schedule that what you can use, just in the time frame that we often talk about, in the regular time frame, maybe from like 7 a.m. all the way till 11 p.m. because some people sleep late. And you can just try it. As I was about to say, try it out for a week. I actually do something. I schedule my days, but also I schedule my week. I learned this from one of my mentors years ago, Teresa Weford. She talks about the Sunday night strategy, and I learned that from her, and it works powerfully. Whereby on Sunday nights you will sit down and you will look at your week. You can, if you have a business, for example, and maybe you also have you have your business and you have your personal life, or you have a career and you have your personal life, you have a ministry, you have your personal life. So what you can do is you can have on the list, you can divide the sheet of paper into two. You have, you're going to write, one section is going to be for your personal life, and the other section is going to be maybe for your business. If you have ministries, there's some of us that have a business, that have ministry. You can have, if possible, you can just merge your personal and one of the other areas. So maybe you only have two. So for me as a person, what I do is that I would normally have personal, and then ministry and business I will merge into one, the things that I'm going to do, and then you can also do that as well. So what you would normally do with the Sunday night strategy is that you will sit there and you would look at what are the major things I have to do for the week. For example, on Monday, maybe I have to record a podcast. On Tuesday, maybe on Tuesdays is a day whereby I plan what I'm going to do next week. You can put that on there between 3 and 4. That's an example. If you're someone that each day, you know that you have your 9 to 5 is taken by work. So which means when you block out the time, you always block out 9 to 5. Maybe what you have to plan now is and I would say, if you don't, like I said, if you don't schedule, you won't get done. So you have to plan between, okay, I leave work at 5, maybe I get home at 6, between 6 and 10 when I go to bed. That's just an example. What do I do between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m.? Between 6 to 7, maybe I make dinner. Okay, 7 to 10, I unwind. But what am I doing really? Maybe I could pick out 1 hour whereby I could develop myself and grow. I've been saying I want to do this course, and I've been saying I don't have time. Maybe I could take out of this one. So I say, okay, 1 hour is for developing myself. Now I can split this 1 hour into 3 parts. 20 minutes of it, I'm going to read a book that's going to help me. The next 20 minutes, I'm going to develop it each day. I'm going to commit 20 minutes. Maybe I'm going to watch a video on YouTube to help me regarding this course I want to do, or anything I want to learn. Trust me, if you put in 20 minutes each day for 30 days, you'll be amazed at what you can learn in that period of time. And then the next 20 minutes, you want to say, okay, now I want to spend it reflecting. I want to spend it looking at my goals. What can I do to make, to ace my goals for this month, my goals for the rest of this year. So it is up to you. So, but the biggest thing is now you're scheduling. So you have your weekly schedule, you have what you're doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You just kind of put it in there roughly. These are the things I'm doing, the basic things. Other things you might add them to it, but guess what? You start off first by just putting the basic things for the week. Now, before you go to bed each night, you know what? Planning doesn't start when you wake up in the morning. Planning starts the night before. It starts the night before. So how does it happen? And I love something that Brian Tracy often, he said it in one of his books. He said, when you plan the night before, you are giving your mind a period of time to kind of, let me think of the word, to almost meditate on what you have written out. So while you're sleeping, your subconscious is working on what you have written out on paper. What you've said, okay, tomorrow when I wake up, first thing I'm going to have my 5 things that I do daily. Like I normally would write my 5 things. I'm going to pray. I'm going to commit to exercise. Okay, from 6 to 7 is exercise time. After that, I'm going to read a book for 20 minutes. And then I'm going to journal I'm going to journal about, what I read in the book. I've done that. I've done my daily thing for that morning. And then what are my plans for the afternoon? You're going to begin to, your subconscious is going to begin to think ahead of strategies that can help you to plan those things. So I want to ask you, another thing I heard somebody else shared, I think it was just as I was getting ready for this podcast, was he said it's great for us to think in quadrants. So that's another thing that you can do. You can divide your day into quadrants. So remember I said you have your daily schedule. I have 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. We have them in blocks, 1 hour blocks. That's how we normally put it in. But I always say, for example, like me, I have the 1 hour, I have the half hour blocks. So 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12. So you kind of have those blocks in there. But now you can also do this. So you can also divide your life into quadrants. So in the first quadrant of the day, what am I going to do? What do I want to achieve in the first quadrant on Monday morning? What do I want to achieve? Monday afternoon, so today is Sunday. On Monday afternoon, what are the things that I want to achieve? What do I want to commit to do on Sunday afternoon? For Sunday evening, what is my plan for Sunday evening? So guess what? As you put it into quadrants, guess what's going to happen? You'll be amazed at what you can achieve when you have it written down. In the morning, this is what I want to achieve. In the afternoon, it's what I want to achieve. In the evening, this is what I want to achieve. In the midnight, this is what I want to achieve. You would be amazed when you put your life in the quadrants. And I think you begin to schedule what you want to achieve in this quadrant. And as you put what you're going to achieve in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and then as many as you want to, you find that it would help you to become effective. It would help you to become an achiever. It will help you to achieve those goals you've written down. And so I want to encourage you. Someone always says, but I always have my goals for the day written on. I'm thinking of them. Guess what? When you think on paper, there is just something that happens to you because it brings clarity. Every time I write down what I'm doing, what is saying to my brain that it further reinforces it with my brain, telling my brain, this is our plan for tomorrow. Not because when you have it in your mind, because there's like a gazillion things in your mind that you're thinking of, your mind might not be able to comprehend the level of things that you have because everything is all jumbled up in there. But you say, okay, for Monday, I'm going to write out what I'm going to do. Monday, I have my daily schedule. For Tuesday, this is what I plan to do. And I always say, well, if you don't even achieve everything you want to do on Tuesday, because you see, there's something that happens with the brain when you begin to tick up the things that you have gotten done from your list, from your things, your goals for today. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, I plan to take the children to the library between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. on Saturday. After I've done that, oh, that's exciting. The children are happy, mommy is happy, everybody's happy. So there's something that happens to even the adrenaline. You feel the rush of adrenaline when you have things that you've written out, when you actually get them done. So there is something about writing down. And when I write a lot. So when you write down, your brain is like you're almost giving your brain that thing to reinforce it. This is what we're doing. So even when you almost want to forget, your brain has a way of reminding you of what we wrote down. So it is so important to think on paper. Think on paper. Bring what you have on your mind, put it on paper so you can see it. It brings clarity. It helps you to be able to achieve it better. And then you find that you are making impact better because you can see what you want to do. So I really want to encourage us, to seek to be a master over each day. I almost would say this: make each day a masterpiece. What am I saying? Plan for each day. Fine, there are 30 days in a month. But I always see each day, every time you wake up, is a block of 24 hours to change something. Is a block of 24 hours to do something better. Is a block of 24 hours to develop yourself. Is a block of 24 hours to grow yourself. So what are you going to do in this 24 hours to make your day better? How are you going to plan for your day? And how you can do that is by doing what? By making each day a masterpiece. Determine, I'm going to make each day of this 30 days a masterpiece. I'm going to make, when I wake up, I'm going to say September 2nd, this is what today is. Okay, September 2nd, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to start off with my 5 things to do each day. Like for me, I have 6 things I normally would do each day, and I have them listed on my daily schedule so that in case I want to forget, I don't. I tell people, I say I schedule everything. From when I learned, I remember from that time when the Holy Spirit talked about scheduling. Scheduling has changed my life because I find I schedule my prayer time each morning. Even if I want to forget, my alarm will remind me because I have it on my Google Calendar. I schedule my prayer time. I schedule most of my appointments. Some I forget to put on there, but now I'm getting better at that. I schedule I'm learning to just schedule everything, because when you schedule things, like I mentioned, when somebody calls you and say, oh, can I meet up with you Tuesday 5 p.m. You're gonna say, okay, let me look at my calendar and see if I don't have anything, because scheduling helps you not to double book. I've done that in the past. Sometimes I make mistakes and I double book appointments. And I'm like, oh, I feel so bad because now it almost shows like I'm not even professional in the business that I run, in what I do. It shows I'm not professional if I double book. So guess what? If you schedule it, you will see it written there. So also scheduling also helps you to see the amount of free time that you have. So maybe you'll be saying, okay, I want to write a book. For example, I have this book where I teach people to write their books in 30 days. And you could say, okay, I want to dedicate an hour a day to write a book, but I don't even know how I'm going to write the book. Okay, let's see what free time do I have? Okay, let me look at my schedule. I work 9 to 5. I get back home at 6 p.m. I normally will do dinner between 6 and 7 while I'm browsing, while I'm making dinner. By 7, I'm actually free. I can sit down. So what do I do between 7 and 8? Maybe I sit down with my children, catch up with them, what happened at school, You go over that. Maybe between, okay, they've gone to bed at 8 o'clock. Let's just as an example. Okay, between 8 and 10 is my own free time. So now what do I do between 8 and 10? What am I going to schedule to do between 8 and 10? I could say between 8 and 9. Maybe I could say between 8 and 8:30. I have a book I want to read for the month. I want to read one book a month. I'm going to pick up that book and I'm going to read it every day between 8 and 8:30 consistently. Guess what? At the end of the month, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel refreshed because now, guess what? You've read a book. Not only have you read a book, you've grown, you've learned so much. What you've learned, you can apply it. Having a daily schedule changes your mind. And having a daily schedule means you plan for everything you want to do. You plan for growth. You are very intentional. Having a schedule helps you to be consistent. At least that has happened for me. It helps you to maximize your potential because now you can see where you can grow your potential. You can see where you can grow. It helps you to, okay, I have free time. Or on Sunday evening, we can just relax and we can watch, it could be family movie night. On Friday evening, we could say, we're going to take time out, we're going to go out because we have 2 hours where we could just spend time together. It helps you to see where you have free pockets of time. So having a daily schedule is, I can't even explain it. It has changed my life. It really is amazing, and it can help you to maximize each day. I will go back to that where I say it can help you to make your day a masterpiece. So I want to encourage you, boss, if you're someone that has a daily schedule already, maybe you want to look at your schedule and you want to check, is my schedule actually helping me to grow? Because I believe that even when you have a daily schedule, you have to learn to audit your daily schedule. You have to learn to check each, like for me, I always look at it each month. Okay, what I did last month, is that what I'm going to do this month? What I did last month, did it actually help me to grow spiritually? Did it help me to grow, not physically? Did it help me to grow mentally? Did it help me to give time to my family? Did it help me to have free time? Did it help me to rest and rejuvenate? I want to look. If it's not helping me, did it help me to spend time with my spouse? I want to be able to schedule it in advance, schedule what I'm going to do, and see if it's not helping me. Then I might need to tweak some things. I might need to take out some things. Maybe I've watched, okay, maybe I spend too much time watching, maybe I spend too much time on social media. I was a schedule for social media. Okay, I'm going to, in the morning, I remember one of my coaches, one of the coaches I follow, often would say, schedule 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, 15 minutes in the night. If you're someone that maybe use it for business, you schedule those times whereby you can network with people, you can connect, you can like other people's videos, you can comment on their posts. Schedule no more than 15 minutes. That way you go in, you know what you're doing, you don't waste time there. 15, 15, 15. So there are so many ways to go around this thing and be productive about it. And so I just thought, you know what? We're talking about the more in you. We want to bring out the more that is within us. A great way to do this is to learn to master our day. And if you have any questions on this, feel free to send me questions about this at oluolabode@gmail.com. You can also send the questions to askthepurposemidwife@gmail.com. You can also connect with me on Instagram and Facebook if you have any questions regarding this. And remember, I said I have a free download for you. It's going to be an example of the Sunday night strategy, and also a copy of the weekly the daily schedule, how I normally would, just an example of how I normally would have my daily schedule. It's just to help somebody else. Maybe you're struggling in that area. I believe this will really help us. So if this is you, if you have any questions, you can send it to me. And also want to mention, if you're someone that just listens to this and you haven't watched it on YouTube, I also have the video podcast. If you're someone that maybe you're more visual, you can watch the video podcast. If you just on YouTube, just enter Oluolabode, the Purpose Midwife. Even if you just put in Oluolabode, it will bring me up. You can always go in there, you can watch previous podcasts and other videos that I have as well. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would be awesome as well, so that way you can keep getting faith building motivational messages such as you're getting on this podcast. I'm so excited, and I'm looking forward to bringing another awesome podcast next week. Have an amazing week ahead. I'll see you again. Bye, everyone.